Yo, what's going on, guys? Apex the Entertainer here. Welcome back to yet another Do As I Say, Not As I Do. Prepare to be ridiculously entertained as we talk about Naamah, my girl, more like Mama. Yeah, we'll keep that in there. Yikes. Okay, so Naamah, I call her Naamah. I don't know if there's a right answer there. Naamah is a generator. I think she's very slept on. I've been playing a ton of Naamah. She's actually a really integral reason to me ranking up pretty quickly lately. I'm finally in the top 50 again, bouncing back and forth, but my ranked grind has been really good since I started doing Do As I Say, Not As I Do with you guys. You're really, as I've said many times, really helping me learn as I go here. But yeah, I think she's very, very underrated. She is my first pick now for Gnomes over Arabella. Obviously, Arabella is the gimme when it comes to Gnomes currently. But yeah, I mean, she's been phenomenal. I have really, really great games to show you guys. I think this is going to be just kind of a generalized Gnome guide along the way because I have 3 different games to show you guys. As always, I don't remember the games. I just know they were Gnome games with Naamah. So we're going to hop right in. She is a generator just like Arabella. Obviously, same thing always applies with generators. You want to really focus on tempo as soon as you can. That's why I try to make sure that I only utilize generators with factions that naturally have tempo intertwined already with their build. Gnomes is going to be a prime example of that. It's pretty hard to go wrong with Gnome tempo, but I'm sure I'll find a way. Combo starters, of course, we got Alchemist, no surprise there. Mr. Outmaneuver is also very important to find early. I think that I focus more on Mr. Outmaneuver than others may when it comes to Gnomes. I know a lot of people, especially high tier players, are very focused on higher tier units early, trying to get to all the Funacycles and Big Brothers as soon as possible. But I do think Outmaneuver is really important, and I will express a little more clearly as to why as we progress through these videos. And then, of course, I don't remember its name, but the T4 unit that generates and augment every turn. Of course, you want to get as much generation as possible. Combo enders, we're going to have Barnaby. You want to get revive on him as soon as you can so that you can start cycling more augments. You have... Oh, that's Big Brother. Big Brother is insane. He's going to be your carry by the end of the game. Intermixed with Funacycle. Funacycle is going to be more of a generator for you, but ultimately your Funacycle may very well be your carry by the end of the game. Late game board example, you can see the way that I have it set up here. You'd have Big Brother in that front left space. He'd be massive. Then you'd have your 2 Funacycles. You want to have as many copies of Funacycle as possible. Then you'll see that I have 2 Outmaneuvers followed by Barnaby. I will say you can really mix and match this board as much as you want between Outmaneuver, Barnaby, and Funacycles. You could have 3 Funacycles, 1 Barnaby, 1 Outmaneuver. You could have a gold maneuver, 2 extra plane maneuvers, a Funacycle, and a Barnaby. I mean, however you mix and match it. Ultimately, by the end of the game, you do only want to have 1 Big Brother on the board. But I want to make something very clear. You guys hear me talk a lot about scaling multiple units at the same time. It's really important to understand that Big Brother triggers based on individual stat gains. So there's a couple of really key things that you guys will see me hone in on as we play. One of which is multiple Mr. Outmaneuvers. I really try to avoid golding outmaneuver if I don't need to, because a golden outmaneuver, when you place an augment onto, let's say, your front left unit in position 1, and then it re-triggers twice because you have 2 Funacycles in your second and third positions, he's going to trigger stat gains for all 6 of your units 3 times, which is going to equate to 1818 to your Big Brother 3 times, which is why Big Brother can scale so fast in such a stupid way. However, if you have 2 separate outmaneuvers, then you're going to double the amount of triggers, which increases the amount of scaling that Big Brother has. So if it wasn't clear to you before, I really want to hone in on that because that matters a lot. It equates to literally double the stats for your Big Brother if you have 2 plain outmaneuvers versus a golden outmaneuver. Now, obviously, the golden outmaneuver is giving the same amount of stats in total as 2 plain copies. It's just double the triggers, right? Which the amount of triggers is what matters for Big Brother. Following that also prompts me to talk about I'm so professional with you guys. I feel like I'm teaching a class. I mean, I am. You're here to listen and learn, okay? You know I'm the big brains here. The tier 5 augment, I believe it's called Pressure Cooker, that gives all of your units +1/+1 at the end of the turn, is going to be extremely important, because if you can stack a ton of those, then again, you're getting an individual trigger per augment that's put on any of your units. So similar to multiple outmaneuvers, if you have 2 Funacycles on board, and then you put a pressure cooker on one of your units in the same row as your 2 plain Funacycles, then at the end of your turn, you're going to trigger a stat gain on 6 units 3 separate times, which equates to 18/18 on your big brother 3 separate times. Now, obviously, you can imagine how ridiculous that can be, because by the end of the game, you want to have a ridiculous amount of augments. So we're going to see some of this in action. Enough of the Yappa tech. I know you guys didn't order Yappuccino. All right, super, super excited for the Naamah gameplay here. Yeah, man, that integrated ability to just fill your hand works so well with the Gnome relics that I use. Oh, I didn't even mention that. You'll notice your key relics at the bottom right there, primarily focused on tempo to begin with, and then just lots of economy to get you to tier 5 as soon as possible. Hello? What's your plan, dude? This one's not very complicated because I heavily rely on that tier 2 relic, the wrench there, which requires 2 units on the board for you to fully optimize the stats that you gain from it. So whenever I can get 2 units on the board for a Gnome game on turn 1, I try to do so. Alright, little loss to start. Nothing unusual with a generator hero. Go ahead and tier up, grab that wrench. Such a ridiculous relic. So lucky that I got it legendary as early as I did. Okay, tie's fine. We're not really in a spot where I'm comfortable greeting yet. It's also a hefty lobby here. We've got Big Womby, Dr. Wompy, Dr. Wandmaker, which again, I say Doctor, that's DR. I have the same thing. You guys probably think I'm Dr. Apex, but I can't help but look at it as Doctor every time I see it. All very good players. We're in a weird spot right now. Did I put that on the Orc? That was kind of genius. Dude, your cleave positioning, your cleave positioning, you crazy girl. God damn it. I can't believe I keep doing that, dude. It's so simple to avoid cleaves. I mean, not that I got hit by one, but just don't do that. Don't put 3 things in a row right up front. Again, that's something I never do. A lot of these were previously recorded as I was getting the DSND content ready for you. But I really liked that play that I made earlier. The sellout scaling on the tier 1 orc and the cycle. I think that was a great call. I should be worried right now. I'm going to assume that because gnomes are in play and I'm on tier 2, which is not a bad place to be anyway. Oh, a little network error there. Not anything we're unfamiliar with. I'm going to give him 5 seconds before we try to skip ahead and figure out where the hell he's at. Go ahead and hit that continue button there, bud. Good job. God, he's really on top of it. All right, so as I was saying before, I don't think we're in a position where we can be greedy. Yeah, I'm checking right now. 2 rounds left with only 1. We essentially have to make sure we win both rounds to even have a chance. 7, 8, and 9 is the bubble for a Dutch rotation, which is what this game works off of for the trophy phase. So if you're sitting at 1 and you got 2 turns left, you do not have room to be greedy. It's a fine play. Throw him in the back, put something in front of him. Put something in front of him. There we go. Again, if you guys haven't heard me say before, units only are blocked by units in front of them. So just because something's in the back row does not mean it's going to avoid getting hit if it doesn't have a unit in front of it. All right, 1 dub in the books. We are guaranteed if we take this win. Okay. Combat drill is the right call. I'm surprised I wasn't more scared And I didn't take the pirate relic. Yeah, it looks like at this point, I mean, I would assume that I'd be committing to orcs, to be honest. Kind of odd positioning. If I was to get hit by a cleave, they might snipe that that rage generator in the back. Definitely going to generate gold. I do love having orcs in for Arabella or for Naamah because they're good econ generators and they're great for tempo early. They're very good build transitioners. They're a great way to start with something and then develop or adapt into a different build afterwards. Bunch of junk. We already made it to phase 2 for Hearts phase. We can just tear up now. We got the extra gold from our combat drill. I'm probably going to take Ocean Star. Yeah, I again, clearly at this point, I don't know that I'm going for Gnomes. And I'm very curious to see at what point I decide I am going Gnomes. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't take a lot to convince me to go Gnomes in general. Oh, well, that's a pretty easy indicator. Funacycle, obviously, is ridiculous. This is what's great about Naamah, and this is why I think she's getting slept on, right? Is as phenomenal as Arabella is, which, by the way, she is absolutely the best hero for Gnomes. She is better than Naamah. But if you get stuck in a weird spot where you have to fight for tempo and you need to just put stuff on the board, the build transition that you're seeing me make right now would not be able to happen. We would be out. We wouldn't be able to commit to Gnomes at this point. So that's what I think people aren't giving Naamah enough credit for, is she has an advantage that no other hero in the game has as far as her ability to just decide to transition a build out of nowhere. I mean, look at that. It was really simple. He's just throw everything out. Yep, I need to play that augment first. Make sure with Naamah that you clear out your whole hand before you tier up to tier 5. I've made that mistake once or twice in my time. Probably just take Gilded Anchor. Generally, I like to take that T5 relic that you guys see at the bottom right of your screen, but that only works if you have multiple units on the board. Oh my god. What a haul. Outmaneuver, Big Brother, another Funacycle. We just need to generate augments. We have everything else that we need. I should take that tier 1. That's a free augment. Make sure you play that. Nope. Immediately screwed up. Wow. That's unfortunate. I bet you I noticed that in the moment. I actually don't do that a lot, which my stream viewers are not going to believe because, oh man, did we have some fun playing Gnomes on Melon the other day. But make sure you position properly with your Funacycles before you drop anything that's going to generate augments, because they need to be in the same row as whatever's getting the augment. Okay, immediately pulling dubs, no surprise there. We have everything we need. We need to generate augments, and we need alchemists. Generating the augments is the easy part. Just got that gold from the T5 relic. Getting an alchemist is not. I do think that I organize these videos to go from worst to best as far as games go. Yep, taking the second out maneuver. Shifter, oh my god. Yep, grab the shifter. Don't like that play. I just pointed out to you guys how much I don't like having a golden outmaneuver early. Although I don't like having a golden Funacycle early either because I like to get the re-triggers. So it's not the worst thing. I think that's the #1 mistake that can be made with Gnomes once you understand their core mechanics, is figuring out what to gold and when. You really like to have duplicate plain copies of most tier 5 units. Take the gold every time. Every time. Take the gold every single time until the final turn of the game. And then from there we want end turn effects. I've already explained to you guys why you want to get end turn stat triggers to increase the stats on your Big Brother, which is easy to miss, right? Because you'll notice that I skipped a tier 5 augment for that. But those end turn stat gains are much more important than mid-combat stat gains. Because obviously any stats you gain in combat are temporary. What you do in the shop sticks around. Grab that T4, good. It's going to give us some augment generation. Another one's not bad. We need Alchemist. It doesn't surprise me that this is the first game, because not having an Alchemist is a pretty damn big deal. Yep, grab that shifter. It is pretty insane to stop and think about where we started as far as the units we chose to play until we got to Hearts phase and where we were able to get to with Gnomes already. That's the power of Naamah, baby. She is the only hero that can do that. Grab the shifter. There he is. Okay, Dory. Take Dory whenever you can. It's another thing that was a big mistake I made as I transitioned, there's an Alchemist, through the season, is I found myself being scared to sell things. If you play Gnomes right, you are going to have an egregious amount of gold. So you really don't need to worry. Like you can see, I'm just selling duplicates of units like nobody's business. Cycling is much more important. Pressure cooker for sure. I only took the pressure cooker though because we already had multi-strike on both of our Funacycles. Otherwise you do want to prioritize keywords like barrier, as you just saw. And that's all going to depend on how you're doing in the game. Take pressure cooker if you're less worried about winning right in the moment. Take keywords if you need to catch tempo. I think I just played to augment my game froze. It's been happening a lot through the end of the season. Gold, again, gold over pressure cooker if you're confident about your tempo, which I am at this point. You see those pressure cooker procs, baby. Oh, man. Yeah, Big Brother is so much fun. I cannot believe what an immense difference Jingle Jack Gnomes went through once Alchemist came in and you could actually catch some tempo. Okay. It's another thing about Gnomes, and I'll say probably you can expect to experience this for all the games that we're going to find. Once you start to catch wind with Gnomes, you usually just kind of demolish. I should have grabbed that T1. Don't miss out on those T1s. Those are free triple procs on your augments. And I just skipped another augment. I don't know why I'm doing that. Oh, that's nice. That's not the right call, I don't think. I don't know. I honestly think now I would have sold that Big Brother, played that outmaneuver, triggered the triple augment with outmaneuver in play, and then probably sold that T4 augment generator and left Barnaby on the board with 2 outmaneuvers. Anytime you can have duplicate, yeah, I'm floating 2 gold here. That was not perfectly played. Again, we're in a good spot, so I'm probably getting a little complacent. I had a tendency to do that with Gnomes. I wouldn't be surprised if I do that in the following games either, because dude, I've been crushing with Gnomes, as has everybody. It's once you understand Gnomes, it's pretty hard to not crush with them. Again, if you didn't hear me say it in the last video, for Sentinel, that's the 2 rules right now to get astronomical games through the end of the season. Focus on Gnomes and focus on Sentinel. Prioritize Gnomes over Sentinel, meaning if Gnomes are in play and your available units, excuse me, your available heroes are like Naamah, Sentinel, and something else, I would play Naamah Gnomes before I would play Sentinel Gnomes, or Sentinel anything else. Gnomes are the most important part. As far as heroes go on their own across all factions, I think Sentinel is the best. But when Gnomes are in play, Arabella and Naamah are the Naamah of the Gamma. God, I'm clever. Okay, I'm scouting for revive now. Once you have Barnaby on board, grab that pressure cooker. Once you have Barnaby on board, if you're confident about your position and you don't think you need to farm keywords, why am I skipping augments? Then you really should be trying to get revive on your Barnaby as quickly as possible. I wouldn't have done that. I would have put the, well, maybe that's the right call. I don't know, I'm torn. Yeah, I take that back. That's probably the right call to try to go for revives on the 2 Barnabys. I just don't like missing out on the extra stats from the outmaneuver. Anytime you can have duplicate outmaneuver on the board, when you have a BB in play, it's just crazy the scaling that you get. But as I'm discussing that, the more I think about it, it's absolutely the right call to focus on farming those augments. And that's something that I lose track of because I'm so interested in the stats, the multi-proc stats that hit BB from things like Pressure Cooker. That's never going to compare to the stats you get from augments unless you have gotten 0 alchemists, which I think we've only gotten 1, so it's probably kind of iffy in this case. But generally, if you've gotten a few alchemists, augments are going to be the name of the game. Just get as many augments on the board as you can. Lots of funacycles, lots of Barnabys, lots of cycling. All right, we're looking pretty funky fresh. Hello? Why is that happening? Pretty sure this is a partial clip. I think I had to stop the recording at some point. I also think the next recording started a little late. Apologies ahead of time. But I promise the last 2 games will be worth it. Don't you worry your little head. All right, so we're going to cycle for that Dory for sure. Just swap out one of the Barnabys. We've got another outmaneuver in hand to put something on the board that'll actually do something for us in the interim. Looking for any augment generators. That tier 4 is iffy. Yeah, I wouldn't buy. I like that idea. I'm glad I cycled through that, or rolled through that. Excuse me. Yeah, sell the Barnaby, sell the Dory, place the outmaneuver, play all your augments. Nope, I don't like that. We're missing on all the double procs from the outmaneuver. I mean, I'm thinking that maybe in my head, I'm telling myself that if I am able to hit revive on one of the Barnabys, then I'll keep the other one and go for a double revive on 2 plain Barnabys. But I don't think that's the right call. Again, do not be afraid to cycle. Yeah, barrier on your Barnabys is never bad. Oh, there's our little jump ahead there. We got the barrier on the Barnaby, as you saw. So we skipped the next fight. As you can tell, it went pretty well. We got the revive and the barrier on your Barnaby. As I was saying, dude, I am skipping past so many augments for no reason. Take those tier 1 augments. Those are free augments. Shout out to Viper, by the way. I was missing opportunities on that prior to him and I doing a little crash course. Don't get me wrong, I've been playing Gnomes very well this whole season, but that small adjustment playing tier 1s has made a major difference. All right, we got our big brother sitting at 3K. Okay, 3,300, excuse me. Got a little ahead of myself there. God, they just demolish, dude. Like, this is a solid pirate board, and it just doesn't matter against Gnomes. And it's so ridiculous the amount of counterplay built into Gnomes. The multi-summon link mechanic is so strong. It's like getting reprocs on your barriers over and over again on any given fight. 22 gold to start the turn. Just crazy. We don't need any extra multi-strikes. Another alchemist is great. Yep, sell out that T4. Play the alchemist. Leave that cycle slot open. Whoo, baby. Looking to see if we can triple the alchemist first. Yeah, we're gonna have to just cycle that. I might be thinking about tripling the funacycle. So I think the right call here, actually, yeah, we'll take the link there, would have been to sell the alchemist, place my outmaneuver before making the funacycle golden, triggering all of my augments so that I get double the amount of augments from the 2 plain funacycles, and then while I have 2 outmaneuvers, double procking, and then cycling from there. So I think I played that a little wrong, but at this point we're talking dollars and cents. This game is in the bag. finally going to start double procking my outmaneuver, huh? Little scam couldn't hurt. Our fundus cycle's golden, so we don't have to worry about placement anymore. At this point, I'm just focused on keywords on the Big Brother. I'm looking for Overwhelm. Hey, speak of the devil. So generally my strategy with Gnomes, as we transition into the late game, is focusing on augments first, then stats, then keywords, and adjusting that based on tempo. If I suddenly start losing, then I'll focus more on keywords and locking those in early. But what I mean by that is something like revive on your Barnaby, even compared to when I played these games, I now focus the revive on Barnaby much earlier to ensure that I get more augments earlier in the process, even if it means giving my Barnaby extra stats, which I was heavily avoiding when I first started playing Gnomes this season, and I've since changed my tune on because ultimately it doesn't matter if you accidentally make your Barnaby big, because once you take off with Gnomes, you're going to win anyway. All right, 1 dub in the books, with 3 health remaining, by the way. Changed to spare. All right, name of game number 2. Hate those options to start things off. I think I'd probably just take the seize the day. Just get the discount, because they're all terrible for tempo, so might as well take the discount on the tier. Nothing that combines well with any relics. Again, if I could get an extra token so that the tier 2 relic would trigger on 2 units, then I certainly would have. Probably just tier and roll. It's not a terrible play. Couple of gnomes. Yeah, those are good gnomes to save. Still didn't get the win, but that's fine. That would matter more if I had that tier 2 orc relic in play, but in this case the most important part was just making sure I had 2 units on the board, so I actually think I made the right call, even compared to what I just said I would have done. This is a good sign. It looks like I'm learning. Because this would have been after my first DSND video, so clearly I picked some things up along the way with you guys. Grabbing that multi-strike early, not bad. I like that positioning. My positioning's already getting better. Oh, I actually don't like that positioning. I needed that Autobot in the 3rd position so that we could avoid cleave, but not the end of the world. As it stands, if I was in that circumstance, I would have sold one and then tiered. Good positioning to try to make sure that seize the day is the last thing that's alive. Again, when you have something that you want to be the last thing that survives, you want to put it behind the tankiest frontline unit, regardless of where that frontline unit is positioned. Yeah, spoil war. We're catching tempo. We can definitely take that. We're already sitting at 7. Once I hit 7, I generally just hyperfixate on greed and hope I get a draw along the way or something like that. If I get 9, then I do nothing but focus on greed. Yep, there we go. All right. So we got a good setup for gnomes. Yeah, R&D is always good. Grab some extra gold as soon as we can. Just focused on getting augments so that we can trigger the R&D so that we can tier up ASAP Rocky. Grab the gold. All right, we'll take the T5, make sure there's nothing in hand. Gonna just, again, it combines very well with Mogul's Top Hat because it doesn't, you don't deal with anything going into your hand. Interesting. You know what? I like that. We're already ahead in tempo. Glacier Treasure, at this point I do have it epic, so I'll get 2 duplicates as I buy units. So yeah, I think that was a good call. Oh, so I'll get the double Alchemist. That was a very good call. This is already a stark contrast from our previous DSND videos to see myself looking at previous games and actually being surprised at me having a worse opinion as I watch it later. Yeah, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like I've actually been transitioning away from Mogul's Top Hat after I got that epic Glacier Treasure. If that's available, it's a very, very strong relic. I don't think I'd sell out that Alchemist. Yeah, I was going to say I'd hang on to that, see if I can grab a triple. We do want that Barnaby right away, and we want to try to get revive on him as soon as possible. We've already got the double trigger on the outmaneuvers. We just need a Big Brother. Yep, I like that. I was just going to say, I think it's time for us to commit to selling that Autobot because everything else is so beautiful. Okay, we're just going to scout for revives. Again, this is already me talking about what I was saying, where, nice, where I'm okay with my Barnabys getting some extra stats. It's not the end of the world. There's the Big Brother. God. Yeah, just sell the Alchemist. Getting the duplicate gold augments is totally worth it. Sell it. I'm disappointed in myself. That was... Oh, I thought I hit the link for some reason. I want to see what my thought process was there, because maybe I missed something. So... Oh, no, this was a great call. The reason that I did that, actually, is because if I had sold the Alchemist and then tripled the Barnaby, I wouldn't have triggered the proper amount of stat gain procs from my 2 outmaneuvers, because you need as many possible gnomes on the board for when your outmaneuvers buff, because they buff all gnomes on the board. So you really want to try to make sure you have 6 gnomes on board when you're buffing Big Brother with outmaneuver. So once again, looks like I'm the idiot this time. Past Apex is way ahead of me. Okay, yeah, Nitro, he's not going to do anything, but we'll throw him on there to start. Positioning with highest attack first, since our Link is our strongest unit right now. Wow, yeah, this is a very strong start. But that first one was really worth me putting in, even though I don't think it was perfect gameplay in comparison. I think I just skipped something, but I'll ignore it. So far, I've been wrong about everything I've tried to judge him on. But that first game was such a good example of the adaptability that comes with Naamah. She is really great for that. Again, better than any other hero in the game. Okay, gonna take our first loss here. That's okay, though. We got our Funacycle. We've got 2 golden augments every turn. Assuming our Barnaby dies, but that shouldn't be too hard to make sure happens over the next few games. Another Barnaby on the books, baby. Grab that. See if we got anything to cycle before we use those. Alchemist is great. So I'm sure I won't make this mistake. Again, we're not going to triple that outmaneuver right now. We should definitely play that Barnaby, though. I'm probably sitting there deciding if I sell the Barnaby and cycle through. Now, what I might do is trigger the outmaneuvers. Okay, I'm looking for the revive on the Barnaby, which... Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, so we can freeze for the triple outmaneuver, but that was perfect. Again, I wanted to keep the duplicate outmaneuvers out. And searching for the revive on the Barnabys was a great call. This is stupid strong. This is going to be really, really good. Man, I don't know how my next game's going to be better, because this should... I mean, it's probably just that I'm just going to win this one too fast in comparison. I would guess that's all it is. Once again, if you're not careful, you jump straight to tripling the outmaneuver, but you don't want to do that right now. It's time for us to take keywords, since we've got our revives on both of our Barnabys. But again, don't triple that outmaneuver yet. I know I'm beating a dead horse. There's our overwhelm, but it is very important for you to get the maximum stats. Yeah, taunt steal just in case. Wow. Alright, we're just looking for augments. Yep, there she is. So we want to play her, play that augment so that she gets the stats from the outmaneuvers to trigger on the BB. Again, keep as many, taking end of turn effects since we already have those keywords. But again, trigger with as many possible gnomes on the board for stat gains. You don't want to sell through. Now, I probably still would have sold Doria in that turn to see if I could get extra gold augments. It's important to have 6 gnomes, but not as important as getting possibly 2 extra gold next turn, since our stats are so high anyway. Tacme still got 3 health, so that's great. We're gonna get a chance to scale up pretty well here. I feel like we'll see that big brother get to at least 4,000. I've gotten Big Brother up to 28,000 before. Of course, I don't have that on video. Big surprise. But you can get your Big Brother insane, especially in Gauntlet and Clan Wars games. There's the multi-strike. Been waiting on that. Got a shifter. Wow. Jesus Christ. Another one? Dude. Rip. Right now we're going to get 5 augments currently, so we don't even have enough room. I don't know. I'm torn on that. Yeah, time to just go for the stats. At this point, I'll be looking for... Oh, I'm surprised I took that. Should not have done that. I should have taken the end of turn. At this point, one thing that I have recently changed is if I'm this far ahead, rather than throwing everything onto the big brother, I probably start trying to throw barrier onto my Barnabys, because getting 1 extra hit off of linked gnomes with barrier is very useful in the late game. That was a good hit. Yep, Dunzos. Get out of my sight. That's the #1 guy in the crew. Come on. $16 gold. Loaded up on augments. Another Funacycle. Dude. Okay, we want Shifter to hit the big brother. Easy. Calculated. I manifested it. Wow. How many shifters is that? Was that 4 shifters? Dude, take those tier 1 gnomes, man. Dude, too many Barnabys. Get them out of my sight. Alright, we're going to need to play an augment before we sell her, because we got a full hand. Probably take the flying, yeah. Okay, sell the Dory, place the Funacycle. Oh my god, another Dory in house. Wow, we really just lined up the rolls. It feels like we're Arabella right now. Oh, I didn't realize that that other Funacycle was there. Yep, perfect. It's time to just start getting some keywords again. And the turn effects, no. I don't know why I keep taking the tier 5 stat gain. That's unusual for me. And the turn effects are so much better for Big Brother in this case. Overwhelm, there we go. God, gnomes are so stupid right now. Alright, freeze that Dory. Organized by stats. I probably would have put the Overwhelm up closer, though. Poof. Ninjas have a rough time with gnomes, dude. Don't I know it? Ninjas and orcs both are getting crushed by gnomes. I mean, honestly, everything's getting crushed, but particularly ninjas and gnomes. Or, excuse me, ninjas and orcs. Alright, just you and I, attack me. I wonder who will win. No, not worth the cycle. Yeah, I was checking to see how many rounds were left. We're basically transitioning into endgame. I'd still take gold if I found it. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I'm not against that. Alchemist is worth it for sure. What are we even going to sell? Probably the plain Barnaby at this point. We don't want to sell the outmaneuver. I hope I'm going to position that Funacycle correctly when I trigger all these augments. And he's back. Good. Oh, yeah. We already have everything. Just take the death stat gain, I guess. Revive's fine. Oh, wait, flying. Yeah, I was going to say, I can understand why I would have taken Revive, because that was my first thought process. Oh, definitely Summon Links. Multi-strike? Yeah, okay, I guess I could see it for the Overwhelm. I like the Summon Link play just a little bit more, but you really could go either way on that one. Just if we got hit by scam, like a multi-summon ninja scam that got really lucky, then the Summon Links might be better. Although multi-strike Overwhelm's fairly good at dealing with that, so... You know, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Wow. Get Nords out of my sight. Who even plays Nords? Not this guy. This guy didn't just put out a video playing Nords, for sure. Okay, let's rake up some augments. Rake them up, rake them up, rake them up. Another outmaneuver is good. Shapeshifter. That's good. I don't think we've seen any of those this game. That's nice. Yeah, I don't know what I'm waiting for. I was probably thinking about trying to pick up that T1 for some reason, the Progressive Recruiter. End of turn, stat gain. Nope. Dude, I don't know why I keep grabbing those kickstarts. We don't need stats in the moment. We can keep taking long-term stats. Oh, it's the last round. That's why. Excuse me. Once again, I'm in the wrong. Pressure cooker, baby. Okay, and we'll finish it out by throwing the Shapeshifter down. Welcome back. I like the freeze on the Torero. That's not a bad idea. We'll have lots of gold just in case he clutched something out. Alright, ending stats on our big brother is 6,500. We got a 3k Funacycle and then a 1,500 stat Funacycle. With our Revive link in play. Very, very, very good game. I can't imagine. I mean, I wonder if I did it in the wrong order. I'm just trying to think of how that next game's going to be better, but I guess we're about to find out. On to the next one. Alright. Taking Naamah because we had gnomes, elves, and orcs. I do like Naamah a lot with elves. You guys will see that right around the corner. As I've said already, you guys are going to get barraged with content through the end of the season. for the next, like, 3 days. Oh, F you, dude. Alright, we took the token. Obviously, again, 2 units on the board is always great when we have that T2 relic. We didn't win that last fight. If we won that last fight, I would have taken the orc relic, but we want to take all the tempo we can get right now. Pop that augment on there. Yeah, multi-strike's fine. We're just, I mean, I guess for the sake of tempo, that's not a terrible idea to taunt her, because then we can ensure the link triggers properly. A little bit of alchemist action. We can probably hold that. Yep. Combat drill. I always like combat drill the most because in total it is the most gold. So if you're confident, then you're in a good spot. Interesting choice to sell that through. It's not a bad call. Again, barrier link is pretty strong. Okay, we do need to win the next one. Oh wait, we're guaranteed, aren't we? That next person was at 3. I wonder if I noticed that. Sure didn't, because I would have sold through to go up to tier 4. Did not need to play that. Again, when you have an advantage state, stop for a second. You should stop every single time you're in the last round of trophy phase and see if you're guaranteed. I was guaranteed, so there was no reason for me to play that alchemist right then and there. I could have gotten another gnome on the board, so that alchemist was optimal. We're all about optimal gameplay here. No mistakes on this side. R&D for sure. I don't know what there is to consider. I wonder what I'm thinking. I guess I want an early out maneuver. I don't think that was the right call. Yeah, we can hang on to that. Leave a space on the board just in case. Yeah, good call. Makes sense that we would take a loss on this one. So far, this is not seeming like the most thrilling game. There's the outmaneuver. Okay, well, I guess that ended up being a good call. I must get a really good haul from this. I absolutely did not. Interesting. Yeah, we got to take top hat. Huh. Weird. I mean, the big brother's nice and another alchemist, but... Oh, I mean, we do get the double golden proc, so maybe I get some good tier 5 discoveries here. Yeah, well, that'll help. I don't know why I just did that. I do that sometimes. I randomly don't take the horse guy. Dude, take those tier 1 gnomes, you goofball. Another BB on the board for extra scaling. So Big Brother is somebody that you can do that with. He's not always the most beneficial to have two on the board, but he will double his scaling and get additional stats by doing it that way in comparison to just having one of him. But it doesn't look like we're going to go that route because we have enough stuff to sell through here. I'd keep the alchemists on board if I can, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Yeah, buy and sell the Dory, sell the T3 and the T4. Nope. Yeah, definitely not the right call there. I would have kept the dupes on the alchemists. Yeah, suboptimal for sure. Alright, let's organize our Funacycle and start buffing up a BB. Grab the barrier, get the double procs on the BBs, grab an early link. So I'm assuming the reason this ended up being my best game, funny enough, is because I have two BBs on the board. Again, this is something actually my stream called me out on the other day. I had a couple of viewers, a couple of very, very loyal viewers that are quite good at the game, tell me not to have two big brothers on the board. But I'm pretty adamant that that in some cases is actually a really, really good decision. And this game, it seems, might be a good example of that. Sell through on the Alchemist. Coins. Coinage. We love economy. That wins is going to be a problem with that multi-strike. Yeah, at this point I would already be thinking about counterplay and what I'm going to do about that if I was running any different faction, but because I'm playing Gnomes, the counterplay is just keep playing Gnomes, because you get things like that link trigger. That's a great example of how ridiculous early link summons can be. Grab that Alchemist and then roll to see if you can golden it before cycling through. Another outmaneuver's great. So see, this is what I'm talking about. 2 outmaneuvers on the board with 2 big brothers on the board equates to a lot of scaling for big brothers. I like the idea of holding off on putting the 2 outmaneuvers though, because again, you don't want to confuse the fact that you can get multi-procs on the scaling for the fact that augments are absolutely still your bread and butter. That guy's trying to play Gnomes, unsuccessfully I might add. Okay, rotate through again, see if we can triple that T4. Perfect. Speak of the devil. Shifter. Another fun cycle. Great. Interesting choice. That was probably not necessary. There's the golden BB. A little bit extra scaling on the 2 copies of the BB, nothing crazy. Again, there's no reason to force having 2 plain copies of BB like you would with other units like Outmaneuver and Funicycle. We are now in a really, really good spot. I love having 2 plain copies of Funicycle and 2 plain copies of Outmaneuver. Man. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of Alchemists already, and we're hitting a lot of gold coins, which is great. Yeah, this game's already won. Now it's just a matter of efficient scaling. So I have a feeling the difference between whatever I do in this game and the last ones. Man, I'm still confused as to why this was the last one. I really might have just had them out of order. Unless I hit like a ton of alchemists or something, or a bunch of gold coins. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe my my golden augments are gonna start giving me coins like crazy. But I mean, prepare to be underwhelmed. I might have just put them in the wrong order. Pressure cooker. I'm wondering if I'm going to sell one or both of the outmaneuvers to get more augments. I think the right call is actually to sell both. That's fine. But we're definitely seeing a good example of why 2 plain copies of Funicycle is extremely important. Getting the multi-proc on those augments early in the process is huge. It's always a very hard decision for me as to if I have the opportunity for an early golden Funicycle, if I ever choose to avoid it. I never do. I always take it, but I wonder, as I see games like this, if I should start avoiding it more often until later in the game. Yeah, see, so far, in my opinion, the difference is I'm starting to buy every single augment that I see, which I'm not sure why in the previous games I wasn't doing that quite as consistently. I was skipping a lot of stuff. Okay, getting the barrier on that extra Funicycle. We want a 6th gnome down before you do that. No reason for me to do that. I'm unsure of what my plan was there. Oh, what am I talking about? It's because I didn't have space. Silly goose. That was silly. That one I did mess up on. Because I would have had space when I played her. Same thing with that other one. What am I talking about? I would have had space. I think that in my head, I was just being very careful not to waste any augments by not having hand space, but that doesn't make any sense with a play a unit, get an augment spell, you're guaranteed to have enough space. Yeah, see, this is all the difference is going to be. We're just hitting a ton of augments in the shop, and we're not avoiding them. Sell through for it, dude. Please sell through for it. And at this point, I think I'm making a... Well, actually, I take that back. I was going to say making a wrong call, but it's late enough in the game. It's good for us to be looking for keywords. It just sucks to keep passing those revives that we could be hitting Barnaby with. Yeah, I did make a mistake there. I definitely think that I should have sold through. Because again, primarily just because of gold. If you can happen to hit a gold proc on that, it's such a substantial difference in the following turn. Get this guy's gnomes out of my face, dude. Game's almost over. Where's the... What are we doing here? Because what did we get the last stats to? We got the other one to like 30... Well, I guess we're already... No, we got that other one to like 4,600 or something, didn't we? Another alchemist. That's going to help. Shouldn't have passed those multi-strikes, I think. Maybe... I don't know. Getting the alchemist is pretty damn good. I'd sell through for it. Yeah. It was kind of a weird order that I did it in. Kind of spooked me, but that was good. Obviously, we want to play augments first. Yep. Well, we have 6 units on the board. There's a bunch of gold. Okay. Yeah. Well, I would say the biggest difference was the amount of alchemists we got and the amount of augments we got, which is kind of the story of gnomes right now. Oh my god, we're going to be loaded up on gold for this next turn. Wow, mama, we're rich. Okay. Alright, dude. Get on my level, okay? I don't speak broke on this channel, kids. Oh my god. Another Funacycle for proccing next turn, and we're going to have, I don't know, roughly 67 million gold on the next turn. Not bad. Oh, my back hurts from all this money. Oh. Man, that would be intimidating in any other circumstance. Oh no, not our big brother. What are we going to do? Yeah, the only way around gnomes, the only counterplay really is going to be deadly jokes. Lots of copies of deadly jokes. Even Torero's bad against gnomes, which is kind of nice. 31 gold, which is kind of nice because we really needed a good counter to Torero, and gnomes certainly do that. Take those tier 1 augments, or I'll really do it this time. There's an alchemist. Grab the dory. Yeah, this was a ridiculous game, dude. The multi-strike's kind of nice. There he is. We have enough gold to spare. And DJ doesn't hurt. Actually, that deadly joke is great against that wins a winner. It's going to wipe him out right in the beginning. Oh my god. Yeah, so we'll get all the augments in hand and then throw the outmaneuver out. So we get all the scaling from it. And then the game's over after this. So put the outmaneuver down, play all the augments, sell them out, and go look for more augments. Another Funacycle's crazy, dude. Oh my gosh. Wait, what did I just sell? Was that my Revive Barnaby? Oh, no. Yeah, that was fine. probably, yeah, I guess that was fine. Okay. Yeah, now we don't need coins, obviously, because it's the final turn. As I said before, take coins essentially every single time, unless you're getting crushed in tempo, or it's the final turn of the game. Summon links. Oh, I'm probably just going for the highest possible stats now. Wouldn't surprise me based on how I know this round's going to go. Man, we have the Big Brother at 7,400. We have the Funicycle at 5,800. 2 more Funicycles. Double procs on the outmaneuvers. This is like peak endgame board. Yeah, just the summon links because we already have overwhelm on everything. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's see what our multi-proc gets at the end. He was at 82.29 on the Big Brother. Yeah, so 280 at the end of each turn from non-augment stats. Oh, I thought we were going against the Winds of Winter guys. The Gnome guy survived longer than that Winds of Winter guy. That's so funny. Wow. Close game. That one was iffy at the end there. He really had me in the first half. Alright, well, you guys get the picture. Gnomes are ridiculous. They're atrociously strong. They're crazy. I will say the last 2 games, entertaining as they were, premium content as they might have been, were not really, in my opinion, the best example of why I love Naamah for Gnomes. I think that first game really was. It might not have looked as purty as far as raw stats go, but that transition and the adaptability of Naamah, again, as I've said repeatedly, is something that I don't think any other hero has in the game. So if you got her out of your pool, give her a little chance, throw her back in there, because she's kind of, for me, when Arabella's out and when Sentinel is out, the Naamah of the Gamma. I decided to do that again because that was really clever earlier. All right, I'm out of here. Keep an eye out for another one. These are going to be coming. I think I'm going to preset these to show up every like 5 or 6 hours. We'll get a gauge based on how soon the season's going to end. So keep your eyes out. Stay notified. Toggle the stuff that you know. Well, it's 4:30 in the morning, so maybe I don't try to come up with any more clever quips. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Until next time.